Hello everybody. What we're looking at right now is an upland hardwood forest over in San Felasco State Park, just north of Millhopper Road. And this area has got a lot of diversity here. You'll see very thin understory. You can kind of see through it, even though there's a bunch of trees everywhere, but you can walk through it pretty easy. In the upper story, it's very thick tree canopies, tall trees. Some of these trees, I don't even know how tall they are, but way up there. So these kind of forests, upland hardwood forests, they used to only cover about 1 or 2% of Florida's landscape, but now they're pretty prominent because we've kind of changed a few things, and I'll explain that a little bit later. These forests are typically found over on rolling mesic hills, slopes above floodplains, near sinkholes, and on different rises that can occur within floodplains also. So for like the floodplain scenario, it'd be like if there's like a high spot about maybe an acre or two in a floodplain, you could see this kind of forest in the middle of that. It provides watershed protection. It's soil composition. You got sandy clays or clay sands with some organic material on top, as you can see here. It's also has high nutrient content, and it's got good moisture retention, which is good for these trees because these trees do not do well in droughty conditions. Some of the disturbances you'll see are light gaps from fallen trees, which could have fallen from just dying, or natural disasters could come through and the wind could just knock them over. You get some rare fires here occasionally, and that's part of the reason why these forests have been able to develop, because of urbanization has caused a lot of the fires not to be so prominent, which has allowed some of the other trees to kind of take over, and the soil content, because of urbanization, has been able to change in some of these areas. So that's why you've been able to see more hardwoods in the area. Let's see. Logging has definitely affected these forests. Hogs, I've seen hogs firsthand just destroy an area. Tons of invasive species, as usual, will choke out any natural forest that occurs here. And human traffic. I know Utah, that's kind of a big problem where they're worried about how much human traffic is disturbing their state parks. But so that's some of information about an upland hardwood forest. Some of the trees you see around me. Down below, you kind of see where there's a light gap showing there. There's some grasses in there. Specifically, you see red bay, and red bay is not commercially sold anywhere. It doesn't have much value, but it does smell good. I'm assuming you can cook with it too. And right now there's an Asian beetle that's kind of wiping the population out. So these are of concern for us to take care of in the future. Other trees you see in the area, we have eastern hophorn beam. I usually distinguish it by its shreddy bark. I don't know if you can see that too well. My phone looks dark. But it has that shreddy bark there. Its cousin ironwood or musclewood has more of like a veiny look to it. Then you look over here, we have what I think is a live oak. I couldn't really see the leaves too well, but live oaks are pretty popular. It's some of its economic value. It's ornamental. It was used for Navy ships back in the day, and it's also safe if construction occurs around a live oak. So if we're developing like a subdivision in this area, we could save this because it's pretty durable. But you can see how tall that thing is too. Man, they're very straight. It's interesting. Back over this way, you see we got a sweet gum tree. And where's my sweet gum? There it is. So we got a sweet gum tree. It's got like soft, corky bark. Has ornamental value. It's a commercial hardwood, and it's second behind oaks. Oaks are pretty popular for this, just used for wood and stuff. But with the sweet gum, you can make furniture, plywood, pulp, veneer. It's also used for witch hazel flavoring and aroma. It's a diuretic, stump water, and skin balm. And over here, it looks like we have a hickory in this area. I couldn't really see the leaves too well, but it does have kind of a hickory look to it. Hopefully I'm labeling that one right. Other trees in the area, you got southern magnolia, which is an ornamental tree you'll see around UF for sure. There's also, I saw a swamp chestnut oak close by here. As I mentioned before, there's also ironwood. Devil's walking stick is pretty popular. Shumard oak, I've seen those on campus. And yeah, those are some of the trees in a upland hardwood forest. Thank you.